Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. I know some of you have analytics teams. Some of you are analytic expert like Atik, and some of you might not have anybody at all. And so the purpose really of this week is for one, for you to understand how to use GA4 in a way that is not typically used. Frankly, GA4 is very different. Some of you will already know you what we hope that you'll come away with this week is an enlightenment for how to use it because it is much more robust than what you're used to in GA3 and also how to pitch it to your customers. I think some of you, and we'll see this as the days progress, but a lot of companies have not implemented it correctly. And I think that there is by and large a big misunderstanding about how GA works, what it's how to use it optimally, and what is the vision for what we're going to do with it in the AI era. So that is what it's intended to do. So, some of this might be a little bit of review, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page, we're just going to talk about the differences between GA3 and GA4. Now, the struggle is real to compete with agencies out there in general, and so I think you'll find that in this world where there's not a lot of talent to work on it, being a differentiator at your agency because you offer GA4 services is a real opportunity. In addition, sometimes you find that agencies subcontract to other agencies where they're just like, you know what, that's just not our focus. We're performance marketing. We're not really going to move into analytics and we have no desire to. So you can often subcontract to even a bigger agency as another opportunity. So again, all the knowledge you need to understand the complexities of GA4 and how to sell in the promise of it and have a vision for how to use it. So let's set a little context about the market. Um, a lot of you're from agencies, so you've seen this slide. Over 15 years in my career, we went from like 100 to 10,000 technologies that house different types of customer data. And the majority of it is wasted because it takes a data analyst to mine that insight. And the problem is that there is not enough people out there. Right now, there's a $200 billion gap in the analytics talent market. That means the number of salary, the amount of salary that is available for nobody to fill the seat. And this is where agencies have an opportunity to fill in. In addition, the need for analysts is actually outpacing the need for engineering. And so this is just getting like even more of a like critically important for companies out there, large and small. But the people who suffer the most are smaller companies. So if 72% of roles are filled at the enterprise level, meaning if a 30% gap is there at the enterprise level, there is nobody to work on anyone else. And GA4 has just further complicated this um, because there's nobody to work on it. There's nobody to really understand and fully educate what Google Analytics for is about. So what you're seeing here is like I've been actually using built with data to track by country where how many companies have migrated fully to GA4. Now you can see from February and March and May, this was pretty dismal. Around 30% in the US, 20 less than 25% globally had migrated. Well, now you can see that US is 82% of companies have migrated. That might seem good, but let's think about this. There are 80 million websites that had GA4 on it. So, 20% of those companies have not migrated over in the United States. So, the other thing to consider is that this is just the GA4 migration of the free product. Everybody who's on Google Analytics 360, which started at $100,000 in annual subscription, has until July 2024. So they're thinking about their migrations starting now. So this is all just to say that the opportunity to help these companies is so great and also to use the opportunity as an agency growth for your team. So in these 4 days, well, our intention is to help you fill that $200 billion talent gap. You're going to gain insights from my 15 years of experience. We're going to master the intricacies of GA4, differentiating good from bad implementations. So, yes, we are going to get into data architecture and down and dirty with it and spend almost 2 days, because that is the critical piece where you need to be conversant in, um, to sell it to your clients. By the way, spotting good and bad implementations is an excellent lead gen strategy for agencies. Then we're going to take a look at some Looker Studio dashboards, which is actually where most of the analysis can be done. You will find, we'll touch on the UI, but you'll find that it is very limited in what it can do. There's some good quick hit questions that you could answer in there, but the dashboard in Looker Studio is the best way to conduct research. I'll teach you how to pitch analytic services. I'll show you like who is buying at what revenue, annual revenue mark, are buying at the highest ticket item, so you could focus your agency on the actual buyers. And then we'll finally get into what is really the money maker, which is conversion rate optimization. So, you're building these websites for your customers, you're helping to lead their strategy, but all of the customer behavioral insights that we're collecting in Google Analytics 4 is basically worth a hill of beans unless you're actually going in to test. So the potential of GA4 in this AI era, this is what we're going to do: an hour a day, beginning with implementation. And if you do all of these things, clean the data, tell clients like where they can optimize, showing them what their daily dashboard data looks like, and then moving into conversion rate optimization and user experience on their sites, you're going to get to metrics that look like this. And no kidding, like these are real metrics that I achieved in a 3 to 6 month time period using all of these 4 tactics: enrichment of the data, testing of the website, increasing the conversion rate, which essentially means like within a 3 to 6 month time period, I'm returning the ROI to my customer, and they're not looking at me as a cost center like media anymore. They're looking at it as something that is an investment. So if you're serious about standing out, I'm really grateful that you are here. Again, there is going to be homework. I do encourage you to do it. Our style here at Clickvoyant is to show how we do it and for you to do. Just like watch and then do is the best way to get Google Analytics into your muscle memory. So, why am I the best person to tell you about this? For those of you who don't know me on here, I've been making it rain for decades at JWT, Omnicom agencies, like making it rain for like Nissan, Peanuts, Nutella, and even a Nobel Peace Prize winner. And now we run this analytics AI called Clickvoyant, and because we are automating statistical research on the behavior. You'll find that the way we do analytics here, and a lot of the philosophies around how to implement GA4, is going to be centered around a particular philosophy, and that is customer empathy equals dollars. We are not going to be using Google Analytics 4 only for building dashboards or only for counting how many leads did I send, how many transactions, how much revenue did I send. We're deeply investigating in anthropologic detail why customers do or don't do a specific thing, particularly related to buying stuff. So that said, let's dive in.